I remember I used to be a player back in the day. I used to be a pimp. I wonder if I still got it. Yo, friends and family. You don't know, it's me, Darren Salmon, coming at you again with another episode of the worst relationship advice ever. You definitely should not listen to me because it's beer rubbish. Me a chat. Yo, beer rubbish. You understand? So, the topic for today's discussion, or today's episode, is gonna be infidelity. Yeah, this is a big one. Coming out of the last episode of conflict resolution, I thought it was important to bring this topic next because a lot of what happens in relationships when it comes on to infidelity is sometimes related to the fact that the two people are just always at odds with each other and are having a hard time resolving conflict. And so oftentimes people leave and go on to find people who they believe is better for them, And so in today's episode, we're going to be looking at infidelity. Cheating is known as the cardinal sin of romantic relationships. Few relationships survive the impact of infidelity. It is the ultimate betrayal of trust. Yeah, trust is very fragile. Yeah, I actually wrote an article once entitled "Trust is a vase." Yeah, or trust is a vase, however you want to pronounce it. But if you can imagine a vase falling to the floor and shattering, right? Just shattering into millions of pieces, and then you taking the broom and sweeping up all the pieces, all the shards into the shovel, and now taking those pieces and trying your very best to put them back together the way it was before, using a little crazy glue or whatever, glue getting stuck on your fingers, and you're trying to put all the pieces back together and recreate the vase as it was before. Even if you have that type of patience to really put this jigsaw puzzle of a vase back together with the glue and everything, the cracks are still going to be visible. And if you pour water into that vase to put in flowers, they're going to be the cracks. Water will lead through the cracks. Just to reiterate the fact that even though it has been fixed, it really has not been fixed completely. So trust is a very fragile thing, and infidelity is like the biggest betrayal of trust. I've cheated before. Yeah, I did cheat on my wife when we were married, and it's something I still feel very guilty about. Something I still feel very sorry for. But I have definitely self-searched and reflected, and going forward, I know for sure that's not something I'll ever do again. I know it was extremely painful for her. It was also extremely painful for me as I was, living outside of my truest character. So I have cheated, but I'm not a cheater. You get me? I mean, some of you, your opinion might be different. I've heard it said that once a cheater, always a cheater. And I don't necessarily agree with that sentiment, but I understand where it is coming from. What we want to do in this episode is understand the reasons behind why people cheat. And if we can address these reasons, maybe we can save our relationships from this particular violation of trust. So there are 5 reasons why people cheat. 1 is greed and ego. 2 is weak or no boundaries. 3, unmet emotional needs. 4, boredom or curiosity. And 5, revenge. Yeah, let's discuss each of them. So 1, ego or greed. People who have a good man or a good woman who treats them well and they're actually meeting their emotional needs, yet they still run into the arms of other people for some sort of gratification or, pseudo satisfaction, are people who are greedy, people who are egocentric or ego driven. And you find that settling down into marriage is not something that automatically cures the mindset of a person who has had multiple one-night stands or multiple short relationships, one after the other, because however we've trained ourselves throughout our lifetimes will follow us into marriage. Let us not believe that the ring on the finger or signing the documents or the ceremony or the vows change who we are, right? As I said before, the heart of the matter is the matter of the heart, right? And so oftentimes people believe that when they get married, they'll have all the running around and the dating out of their system, and they won't need to do that anymore because their wife is gonna satisfy them completely or their husband is gonna satisfy them completely. When if that was never cultivated from before, you might just find yourself in your relationship wondering, I wonder if I can pull that lady over there. I remember I used to be a player back in the day. I used to be a pimp. I wonder if I still got it. I got this. I said, yeah, man, I love my baby. I love my partner, but I want to know if I can still knock down, some dominoes. I want to know if I can still get intimate with another woman or with another man, So that ego, that selfishness, that pride that exists pretty much within all of us, if it is fed and fed enough, it can really become a part of who we are and will play out itself even after marriage. And you do see this happening in marriages where there are people who are just having multiple sexual partners, cheating on their spouse with multiple people, short-term one-night stands, even going to prostitute sometimes, if they are not being completely satisfied by their partner, or they could be getting the sex, they could be getting all sorts of love from their partner, but they're not satisfied. And they seek outside validation through other extramarital romantic relationships. So that first reason, greed and ego, is actually very common amongst us human beings, because at the very core and base of sin is selfishness and pride. The next possible reason why people cheat is weak or no boundaries. Tell you, I have definitely lived this one in my lifetime. I remember a past relationship, this was before I got married, where it was concluded by my ex that I cheated. From my perspective, I didn't cheat. From my perspective, I was deceitful, that's true. I was dishonest. But in my mind, I didn't cheat because I didn't do anything sexual. I didn't, touch the other woman in an inappropriate way, and I did not have the intention to do so either. So from my perspective, I didn't cheat. But I was dishonest in that I was not transparent, I was not honest with my partner at the time about where I was spending the night. And so on that basis, it was concluded that I was unfaithful. And I can definitely get that. Having weak or no boundaries causes people to get into this type of situation where it's like they cheat by accident. Sometimes people are caught in the act and they're like, wait, it's not what it looks like. I really didn't mean to do this thing. It's because oftentimes we believe that we can, get close to the edge and not fall over, not fall into cheating. But it often happens, our flesh is weak. The spirit may be willing, but the flesh is weak. And so that is why it's necessary for us to put very strong and strict boundaries on our relationships that are outside of our marriage. Yeah, for real. and to uphold those boundaries no matter what, especially in those times when we are feeling disconnected from our partner, when we're beefing with our partner, there's contempt, there's stonewalling, and that's when we're most vulnerable. And if we don't have strong standards and boundaries, we most definitely will fall into cheating. Number 3, unmet emotional needs. When a person has no track record of, cheating in the past, and they know in a marriage and they fall into an affair, it's more than likely because of unmet emotional needs. Because I spoke earlier in the previous episodes about resolving conflict and, being open to the other's perspective and ensuring that your partner's perspective is included, considered, that they feel heard, that they feel safe, that when they're vulnerable with you, you create that space for them to be comfortable with you. And all of that is necessary for the building of intimacy, and intimacy helps the flow of your sex life, which now helps with remaining faithful. Now, at this point, I want to just make it clear that there's no justification for unfaithfulness. There's no justification for cheating. It's wrong. And so once you cheat, you're wrong. There's no explaining it away. There's no amount of reasoning that can turn it into a right. However, understanding the reason behind it prepares us to do one of two things. Either we're going to now be very intentional about meeting our partner's needs so that they don't feel the need to go elsewhere, or we now are better able to position our minds to reconcile with our partner even after infidelity. I know not everybody is open to that. Some people are like, once my partner cheats, that's it. No second chance, no nothing, that's it, we're done, we're moving on. While other people, it's not so simple, it's not so cut and dry. They have deep emotional feeling for their partner, there's a deep connection, there's all sort of things that both of their lives together is connected to. And so just leaving them like that is just not that simple, it's just not that easy. And so many people actually want to work things through with their partner by understanding the reason behind it and then seeking how they can now address that reason. How can they now do better to do right by their partner, to make their partner feel safe. But first they have to forgive. And as I said earlier, this is the cardinal sin. The forgiveness of infidelity is not a quick thing, it's not an easy thing. It's gonna possibly take years. And as I said before, the trust doesn't come back the way it was before. And so it's very important that if we want to avoid it altogether, that we do our very best to see to it that our partners feel heard, that they feel understood, that they feel validated, that they feel respected, that they feel loved. Always check in with your partner, because sometimes you feel as if you're doing your very best and you're killing it, you're meeting all the standards for your partner and they don't feel that way. So definitely have regular relationship check-ins with your partner, just to give them the space to open up to you about their possible gripes about the relationship, So your unmet needs is a possible reason for infidelity. Next we have number 4, which is boredom and curiosity. A person may be having sex with their partner on a regular basis, routinely even, but that's a problem. It's no longer an exciting experience. Many couples who have been married for long periods of time often, express this issue. Sex can get old. The excitement and the passion and the fire that was there in the first couple months or the first 2 years, if you think 15 years down the line, the sex is still necessary and the couple is probably still having sex. It's just not as exciting anymore, and sometimes there are other outside people who are attracted to your spouse, and your spouse is attracted to them. And a little curiosity, a little devil sits on their shoulders and say, hey, I wonder what that would be like. I wonder what that experience would feel like. And all it takes is a little bit of a nudge to just tip them over the edge to explore that possibility. Yeah. And so I encourage you guys, keep your love life as spicy as you can keep it. I know there's different people, different churches and different, school of thought have different ideas about, oral sex and sex toys and anal sex, and sex can go very broad and it can get very nasty from my perspective. But hey, the Bible says the marital bed is undefiled. And so whatever you and your partner are able to agree on within the confines and the privacy of your bedroom, do whatever you need to do to keep it exciting. If you need to wear wigs, if you need to wear costumes, if you need handcuffs and chains and balls and whatever, do what you need to do to keep both of you intrigued. Yes. And reason number 5 is revenge. Yeah. Revenge is a possible reason for why people cheat. Either a person was cheated on by their partner and now they're gonna cheat back, or their partner did something that they found very offensive, very hurtful, and so now their hearts have grown cold toward their partner and they lose that sensitivity toward their partner's hurt and pain. And so they're like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna go ahead and get my rocks off with somebody else because my partner don't care nothing about me, and my partner hurt me, and I'm a victim, so I should just go and do what I want to do, type of thing. But the Bible does speak out against revenge. Yeah. God says, do not repay evil for evil, but treat your offender with kindness, with goodness. Bless those who curse you, because the Lord will definitely be the one who takes vengeance on your behalf. You don't take the vengeance. Let the Lord represent you, right? Don't take revenge. Plus, 2 wrongs don't make a right. So if your partner cheats on you, it does not mean that you should now cheat on your partner. Don't make no sense. It just causes double work when it comes down to now reconciling this huge break in trust. So yeah, those are the 5 reasons for why people possibly cheat. As I said before, there is no justification. It is always wrong. It is a huge violation of trust. However, understanding these reasons can definitely influence our behaviors and our attitudes toward our partner, even toward the end of reconciliation after a huge offense like this. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me yet again. If you found this episode informative, please like it, comment down below, share it with your friends and family. You know anybody who has cheated in the past, or possibly someone who is cheating now? This episode could probably cause them to look into themselves about the reason why they are cheating, and probably cause them to reflect and hopefully stop what they're doing, come clean to their partner, and see if they can get their partner to work with them to make them more loyal. Alright, so in our next episode, we're going to be going deeper into this whole idea of infidelity and how it affects our relationships and how our relationships can possibly survive this particular thing. Yeah? Enough love and respect to you and your family, and I'll see you next time on the worst relationship advice ever. You definitely should not listen. Later.